What's going on, y'all? This your boy Dale Wayne with the Let's Be Clear podcast. Ladies, what's up? How y'all doing today?
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm doing good. Antoinette sounding better, guys.
Yes, I am.
Well, that's good,
We got our girl
Antoinette.
back. 3 strong voices now.
Yes, and we need Antoinette. Oh my gosh, ladies! Facebook and Instagram is down.
Wait
so
a
it's
minute.
Good to have Antoinette,
Wait a
our
minute.
techie on this podcast.
So it's not just me. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, I haven't been able to do my 10 minutes with tabs. I tried a couple of times today. It would not do it. I've noticed other people's lives were messing up. People not being able to join live. Yeah, okay, so it's not just me. And I'm still, I got like 6 different Instagram stories in queue that just will not post.
It is just not you. I done deleted the app, uploaded it back up, and I was like, what is going on? So Antoinette and Tab, I went to Twitter and tried to figure out, and I see hashtags trending on Twitter and people like, I actually rediscovered my Twitter based on this. Like, I'm like, hey, I've been missing all this time. So, yeah, people are on Twitter now going crazy. Twitter lit.
This is a good example, though. This is why it's important as an entrepreneur. Now, we know we can use social media to grow our businesses, but you have to have a storefront. You have to have your own. Because of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, if they shut down, where are you sending your people? You have to have somewhere else to send your people. Right.
I'm just trying to help you out, kid. I'm trying to watch your back.
Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not, because literally, like, I am not giving up because I am, like, in my Insta stories, I am cursing Instagram out, and I am not giving up until it finally closes. Like, I was trying to add Instagram. It wouldn't let me add it. Like, I want somebody to know that I'm not happy, that I cannot do my 10 minutes with tabs. So I might just do it on Facebook and just worry about the rest later.
It sounds good. So also, ladies, this is, and listeners, this is our 10th podcast episode. So yay to us. Congratulations to us. And, that's a milestone for us.
Right.
10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole season of Insecure. Insecure, they had like 8 episodes. We got 10.
Right. We're
so
doing
this is
good.
huge for us.
Right.
Yes.
10.
Happy 10th, and I'm looking forward to our next 10. I know it's going to get a lot more exciting and I'm expecting a lot more interviews. I really haven't been going hard with the interviews. I get emails all the time from different celebrities asking me to interview them. I just been turning them down, but hopefully we get some nice hot interviews the next 10 episodes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Welcome them on.
Yes.
We can even get them to weigh in on other topics if they're willing to.
Exactly. Also, ladies, and listeners, we just launched the Let's Be Clear Podcast.com, that URL. If you go to Let's Be Clear Podcast.com, it takes you to our brand new YouTube channel. So we're launching, in the celebration of the 10th episode, we're launching a brand new YouTube channel. You just go with Let's Be Clear Podcast.com. It takes you straight to the homepage of the YouTube channel. Go to Let's Be Clear Podcast.com. You can get to all our episodes.
I love it.
Yep. So that's it for our update so far to Let's Be Clear Podcast. So Tabitha, what's up? What you got going on, Tab?
All right, guys. Like every week, I'm coming at you with curls, love, and life. But what I've realized, I've done some self-analyzing, is my topics get a little deep. We all weigh in. They get a little lengthy. So I'm going to keep it short and cute for my curls news because I really want to kind of go into detail when it comes to love and life this week. So for curls news, I just want to remind you guys, I have announced we are having our event on the 23rd. I am partnering with Lipstick and Lashes ATL to do like a mini movie night on the 23rd. So we're going to have great food, great drinks, great topics. We're going to go over little clips. It's going to be an amazing little social gathering. But we want to keep this first event, and again, this is the first event that I'm hosting. I'm super excited. We want to keep this first event more intimate, so we're actually running a contest. So if you go on my Instagram, you'll see the post that I put up. You guys got to follow the rules. You got to like and comment. You got to also go over to Lipstick and Lashes ATL and like and comment. You don't have to share it. I don't want to mess up anybody's timeline, but you do have to follow those rules. So make sure you head over to my Instagram and find that post, like, comment, do all the things that the rules say to see if you can get a chance to join us for this first event. And it's also going to be a really, really great door prize. So if you guys know, and this is for those of you who do know, I'm not going to put it out there, but if you know some of the companies that I partner with and some of the companies that I have a ambassadorship with, then that kind of gives you a little heads up, a little a clue as to what the potential door prize could be. So, again, make sure you head over to my social media for that. And that's it. I want to keep it cute and short for Curls News this week, because I want to go right into love. And again, this is a topic, guys, every single week I'm bringing you love topics, whether they're relationships, things that you love, and we all three weigh in on these, right? So this week, I want to talk, and this is a very random conversation. I'm not going to tell you guys where it comes from, but just know all my love and life topics are real life. I'm just not going to tell you when this conversation came up, but I want to know how, because we're all in relationships, right? We've all been with our spouses, our significant others for a while. How much of your past do you share with your significant other? Or is there limits to it? Is there certain things that you guys don't want to talk about? Certain things that you feel like, and I'm not going to put you too on the spot. I don't want you, if there's things I know you're going to go to your grave with, then just say that, because I'm not afraid I'll say it. There's things I might go to my grave with. But do you share everything? Are you an open book? Or do you feel like, what happened before you should stay before you? And there's just certain things about my life that I don't want to share.
I can go first. That's pretty good. I had to think about that for a second. But I would absolutely say that I'm an open book. Me and my significant other have been together for a very long time. I mean, we pretty much like freshmen in college and senior in high school. So we've been together for a long time. There really wasn't too many people or situations that happened prior for my relationship. So, I mean, there really wasn't much to talk about because no one else prior to him was significant to me.
Enough, right.
Sorry for the shade, yeah. But
no shade.
Yeah,
they in the past like they should be.
Exactly. So, no, and even with my personal life, my childhood growing up, I share all the stories and things like that, whether good or bad. So, no, I'm an open book, I would have to say.
Okay, Doreen, what about you?
Okay, so Tabitha, you're not going to be trying to get me in trouble on this podcast. I'm telling you, you're not going to be trying to get me in trouble on this podcast. So when I first started dating, me and my wife first started dating, we kind of laid our cards out on the table. I don't know if this goes for most men, all men. What I'm going to say, most men probably have more relationships than females. So, the average female can probably count down, how many relationships they've been in on one hand. But the average man probably going to need two hands and his feet. How many relationships he's been in. And with that being said, all the relationships that were significant in my life, that I could possibly say that I was in love, because there's a difference between loving someone and just kicking it, or actually just being in love. So being in love, all the relationships that I've been in love, my wife definitely knows about, because I talked to her about it. And I think it's good to be open, especially if you're dedicating and committing to a person for life. If you're dedicating and committing to someone for life, it's good to be open about those past relationships, because a lot of times you could bring a lot of that baggage from them past relationships into your new relationship, and it's good to know the source so y'all can work it out. So,
exactly. Let him know why you're crazy. Right. Give him a clue, ladies. Help him out.
Yes.
Help him out. Don't leave him in the dark of why you acting crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so I agree, but doing a little bit of self-analyzing, again, I'm not going to go into too much detail of how I got caught up in this conversation before, but doing a little self-analyzing, I realized kind of the same thing as Antoinette. Everybody knows me and DJ have been together for 14 years. I feel the same way. There's so many amazing moments of my life that he's been a part of, which makes you realize, too, that's a part of, when you think about, God forbid if we ever had to separate, like, there's so many things, memories that I have that he's included on, so it makes even that thought that much harder, right?
Right.
So he's been around forever. We've kind of grown up together. So a lot of things about me he does know. But I've just started recently realizing, like, as we're having certain conversations and certain stories, there are some things that he doesn't know. Some things by choice. Me and my husband have chosen not to really talk about too much about past relationships. He knows a couple of things He definitely doesn't want a number. He definitely doesn't want like how many people I've been with romantically like that. He does, and it's not to say, guys, let's be clear. I'm not saying that my number is off the hook. Even if it's the other person, my husband he doesn't even want to hear a number being said. He hates that. He can't fathom it. But like there's certain parts of our past relationships that I either may or may not go into detail about. I've realized though I'm more willing to listen to stories about past relationships for him than he for me. Like I've realized that. Like anytime I go to bring something up randomly, like if we're talking about something, he'll shut the conversation down. So I don't know if it's just me being silly and like being willing to listen to him type of thing, but I realized that. And then on top of that, I realized like as I get older, this is just thinking of things, mental health, I start kind of really uncovering some traumas or some things that I might have gone through in my life, like growing up. I'm realizing that there are things that he's just now finding out about me now because I, in my adult years, are just now starting to attack it. And it's actually kind of refreshing to me because it's like, even after 14 years, there's still something fresh for us to talk about. You know what I mean? And it's it's kind of fun or I don't know if fun is the word I want to use, but I like the fact that I'm uncovering this with him, and I like the fact it's giving us something else to talk about. And as I'm going through this experience and digging deep into some things that have been bothering me, like as my best friend, I have him right there beside me on that journey with me, even though the things that have happened are things that happened before him type of a thing. So yeah, I can agree. I definitely think it's important to tell your spouse everything, but I'm realizing that my husband doesn't necessarily know everything about me, but it makes it fun when I bring something up to him, like, oh yeah, well this type of a thing. Like there's certain stories about my brother that he doesn't know. So having them conversations with him now are kind of therapeutic.
Right.
Yeah, that's very fun when you have situations with family members, and I'm like, oh, I never told you about the time such and such happened, and that's why she's crazy, or that's why she's off the hook. So, yeah, it's definitely, those kind of memories jogging back and, like, having those stories are always fun to discover and uncover with each other that are just fun. Especially when you've been someone for so long.
Exactly. When you take them to that family reunion for the first time and you're like, remember that Auntie Smith, we don't look her in her eye, like, right. type of a thing.
Well, Tab, I read one of your Facebook posts where you mentioned kissing a couple of frogs, and then DJ weighed in on it. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was, I laughed so hard.
Friendships. I was talking about friendships, but my husband is such a creeper on my social media. Like, he's such a creeper.
Yes. And so I just wanted to add in to what, to kind of back up my man DJ, how the fellas, we know that women, we know that y'all have past. We know that y'all been in relationships before y'all deal with us, but we don't want to hear them. Like, most of the time, we don't want to really hear the details. We want to kind of feel that, we were the first, even though we know we wasn't, but we kind of want to feel that we was the first kiss, the first movie date, and even if it wasn't, we still kind of want to feel that way. So I kind of understand some of the fellas who feel like they don't want to hear like a lot of the past relationships. Like, I understand I want to hear it, but I understand the guys who don't want to hear it, because sometimes it'd be kind of painful for me to hear a lot of it, but I do understand. From fellas' point of view, I do understand.
Right, they don't want to hear it. And from a lady's perspective, I want to know, like, to this day, 14 years later.
Right.
You said you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know everything.
Exactly. So the night I met my husband, we're having a conversation. I don't know if this was part of his like Mac game. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. But he was telling me like the last girl he was around. I don't like whether they were sleeping together or whatever. When I tell you the moment we made it official, he acted like this girl never existed. All I remember is that her name starts with the letter Z. And I kid you not, I will ask him and one of his brothers, this is his best friend, I will ask both of them, like, what's the name of the girl that DJ was messing with before me? And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie. Like, the night I met him, he talked to me about her. And to this day, I'm like, her name starts with a Z. And to this day, they both look at each other like guy code with this, like, blank look on their face, like, we don't know what she's talking about. So, FYI, guys, ladies want to know.
And I was just getting ready to ask Antoinette, because Antoinette just said something interesting. She said, I want to know everything. And she put an emphasis on everything. So why do you want to know everything, Antoinette? Why do you need to know everything?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm nosy, first of all, and I just need to know. I would love to know what the past women have looked like.
Wait a minute.
What was your type? Like,
wait a
what
minute.
were you know, your little spectrum that you went through. Like, I just want to know all those things. I'm never going to find out, but I would love to know those things. And I'm just
right
because I think it's kind of a double standard. Because if a man says that to a woman, I want to know everything. It comes off like he's, I don't want to say controlling, or it comes off like he's just, I don't know. But it just sounds weird for a man to say that to a woman. I want to know everything.
Well,
you
first of all,
think so?
understand that women are never going to tell you everything. Even if you think they know you everything, we
No, man. You don't get it. This is childish, Gina.
Never.
She gonna get herself in trouble with this podcast. Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, I agree. DJ definitely had a type. I've seen a couple of his exes. He definitely has a type.
I definitely have it. Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna be quiet on this topic. I'm not gonna say another word.
Yeah.
That was not about to get me in trouble.
I promise, guys, this was not a set-up topic. I was not trying to set you guys up this week. All right, yeah, it was like I said, it was a conversation I got pulled into earlier this week, and I just started wondering, like, is this all relationships? Do all relationships have this issue where they kind of keep things from each other? They feel like, you know, it's unnecessary to divulge all of their past to their spouses. Okay, good to know. So we typically know women want to know it all, and men rather think they're the first of everything.
Yes.
Got it.
In our minds. Yeah.
Right. Got it. All right, guys. Moving right along into life. This was actually a topic I wanted to talk about a couple of weeks ago, but I kind of tabled it. But then we started talking about it tonight with my son, my oldest. He's 12. The reality that we have 5-6 years before he's off to college. Then we immediately start spitting out facts and numbers to him, and then he asks me, do I have to go to college? So that's my topic tonight for life. How do you guys feel these days? I know things are different than they were, 10, 15 years ago. How do you guys feel about telling seniors in high school or telling high school kids that they have to go to college? What's your thoughts? College or not?
Wow, this is a great
really,
topic.
I'll let you go first. Yeah, that's really good.
Yes, I'm glad. I love this topic. I'm glad you put it up, and I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm going to be short with it. So my sons, when they were young, 2 or 3, I started finding like college logos and instilling in them college. You know, my son, he'll tell you right now, I want to go to Georgetown. He's been saying that since he was 4. Long story short, certain records in certain cities and certain counties, they determine the prison population and the jail population based on a high school graduation. In Cobb County, they had built a brand new jail in Cobb County, Georgia, and they built that jail based on the number of kids that wasn't graduating from high school, because they feel like if you're not graduating from high school, you're probably going to land up in jail at some point in time because you don't have the education. Do I press on this podcast right now? I am the college dropout. You ladies graduated from college. I am officially the college dropout on this podcast. I don't think you need college to be successful, but I would love for my kids to go to college, get the experience, learn different cultures, embrace your professors and your teachers, and spend 4 years. But if they drop out of college and decide to start their own business, I won't be mad at them either. But I do want them to get that experience of going to college.
Okay. What do you think, Antoinette?
Okay, so I agree with Darlene with, getting experience, and if you want to go to college, go. If not, or you want to start a business, that's great also. But honestly, I would think, like, as a minority, as an African-American young man, young woman, or even a Hispanic minority, whatever, I honestly think some form of education is definitely a necessity in order for you to be successful. I honestly think that it doesn't have to be a 4-year institution, because today a lot of times people can go and get accreditations, and they can also, move their way up in the corporate ladder or do businesses or start being an entrepreneur on the side, but you definitely need some form of education to better yourself in whatever area of study that you want to go into. So if you don't want to go to a 4-year institution, that's fine, but you do need to go to either somewhere where you get accredited or some type of certification in a specialized field that you want to be in for your career. I think it's really important. Some form of education is necessary for minorities in this country. It's not really a game or an option, in my opinion.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. So the topic came up again because a couple of weeks ago, my nephew's already in college. My niece is headed off to college shortly. So it's just kind of putting her in that mentality of we got to get prepared. And then I stopped myself and was like, well, does she have to go to college? Because I'm doing this based off the kids. So same kind of thing tonight, having a conversation with my son, and I'm looking at it now as a money thing because I'm, like Dwayne said, I'm a graduate of college, but I'm thinking of how much money it cost me, and I'm not even in the field that I graduated from, where my degree is in. Looking back on it, I could have totally gotten where I am without a degree, but I think my degree definitely helps me. And then, like you said, being a young Black woman, I need that. I feel like I need that to even, start the race type of a thing. But when I'm thinking about it with my son, you definitely need that. So when I'm thinking about it with my son, he asked me that question tonight, do I have to go to college? So I explained to him, if he was the type of kid that kind of knew what he wanted to do already and we could figure out a route to get them there without creating that potential debt, then no, I might entertain other options. But for him, and this is what I told him, for the kid that I have to still be on to complete your study guide, for the kid that I know you have no clue what you want to do, you absolutely have to go to college and you have to get that foundation. And if you don't figure out your passion, the least you have is a 4-year degree under your belt to be able to get you some type of job, to create some type of income so that you can take time to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life.
There you go.
But what I'm not going to allow you to do is graduate, go get any type of job, making no money, and then 10 years from now deciding, oh, God, I should have went to school because I really need this under my belt, to even have a foot in this race. So I totally agree, and I'm glad you made that point. It's just being a young Black minority, male, woman, whatever, we need that, to even have a starting point. I think it's important. And part of the conversation came up, and I'm so upset that I don't remember his name, but he is he's running for president. He's put his name in the race. He's an Asian guy. I don't know if you guys
know who. I don't know his name, though. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though.
But I saw him on, and don't judge me, I listened to The Breakfast Club. So I love that they are interviewing anybody that says they're putting their name in the hat to run for 2020. The Breakfast Club is interviewing them. So they interviewed him, and he brought up a good point where the country is moving in the direction of AI. A lot of jobs, a lot of things that, I might tell my son, you can, you can go to a trade school, you can get a certificate, you can do this and that. He's saying those jobs are going to be obsolete. They're about to eliminate truck driver jobs. Like, the country is moving forward with AI. And even though Charlemagne was yelling, get rid of the robots, the guy was basically saying, no, that's not the answer. That's not happening. You know what I mean? It would put the U.S. further behind. So it further deters me from telling my kids, okay, senior year, we can put you in some courses to get you, online to get a certificate or some type of trade school. That's not enough.
Right.
That's not going to be enough. And now I'm like, damn, they have to go to college. Like, I have to tell my kids that they have to go to college. They have to have that foundation now.
But Tab and Antoinette, I just want to kind of play devil advocates for a second. I know how important education is. Our ancestors, my great-great-grandparents fought for us to get an education here in America, equal education. So I know how important it is. But I just want to say, as time is changing, like he was talking about the robots, the AIs, and how the industry is changing, isn't it a little backwards now to kind of tell our children to go to school, to get an education, to go work for someone else? Like, shouldn't it be, get that education so you can be your own boss, so you can run your own business, your own establishment, not to go work for someone else? It just kind of seems like that should be the mindset of young African Americans, because we can sit up here and get jobs and careers all day and work from other people, and then once, they go out of business or, God forbid, something happens with the economy, people don't have anything to fall back on because they so dependent on working for someone else. So I teach my children entrepreneurship. I've been teaching that to them while they were young. And my last point I want to make, even though I know how important education is, you can learn anything you want to know right now on the internet. They have different websites where you can pay $10 a month for certain courses. You can learn anything you want to know right now, and you won't be stuck with a student debt that you go to a university or something that you have to pay back. You can learn anything right now on the internet, on the computer. You can teach yourself. So I just wanted to add that.
You're right, and I needed to hear that, because that definitely is the way I should have directed that conversation tonight with him, where, it's important to go to school, but because I want you to have that education and that foundation to build your own. So I'm glad you said that, and that's something I'm definitely going to take into account moving forward as I have conversations with him.
No, you're fine. You brought up a great point about our community and teaching them how to be entrepreneurs, but in order to teach them to be entrepreneurs also, it's not how, back in the day you could say, oh, be an entrepreneur and open up a bank, or be an entrepreneur and open up a grocery store, because those industries are going to be obsolete also. You're going to have online banking and then virtual grocery stores. So if you're going to teach your child to be an entrepreneur, I would highly encourage them to get involved in technology in some way, form, or fashion. That is what they really need to focus on, is technology and tech, because that is where the future of entrepreneurship and our jobs are going. So definitely tech
absolutely
all day.
Yes.
And he has a passion for video games.
So right.
Yeah, he has a passion for video games, and I let him know that actually, because my husband sometimes laughs at that, and I'm like, do you know that Georgia State actually has a degree for that?
Yes.
First of all, video game development is nothing but website development and development, period. Yep. You know what I mean? So web developers make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, there's absolutely nothing wrong for feeding that passion of loving video games and wanting to build video games when he grows up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let's be clear, there's certain careers that robots can't replace. I mean, I wouldn't have a robot cut my hair for me. You get what I'm saying? There's certain things that robots can't replace. They can't replace that human-to-human interaction. They can't replace human commentary. You can watch CNN and you can watch MSNBC, and if a robot is sitting there, they're not going to give you that human interpretation of what's going on in the world. So just imagine if the Breakfast Club had all robots. I mean, you're not going to get that point of view from humans. So there's certain things that robots can't replace. So I do feel, I totally agree with both of you ladies, Antoinette, because Silicon Valley, coding, learning how to read coding, write coding, that's definitely where the future is at. So developing apps, creating apps.
And customer service, because eventually we would have to actually pay to have human interaction. So actually customer service is a big industry that's going to boom over the next 10 years. And I've seen research saying this, that, because everything is going tech forward, that in order for you to have human-to-human interaction, and I definitely agree customer service is everything, that you will have to pay a premium to get that eventually.
What?
Which is very shocking.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because I hate talking to a robot. I hate it.
And guess what? They know that you do so much. Are you willing to pay an additional fee so that when you call, and actually they do that now, don't they? If you have a certain level of a plan of something, when you call, you directly speak to somebody. They've already started. I have to think.
Don't know.
I will have. Yeah, I would have. Yes, I have to think about it. I will definitely get back to you guys. I don't know if it's a credit card. It's something that when you call based off of your plan, you basically don't wait in line. You go directly to a person.
Right.
Yeah. So that is right on line to what Antoinette said. Yeah, that it's going to become so rare but necessary that eventually you're going to have to pay a premium to be able to do it.
That's crazy.
Because everything is moving towards automation.
It is.
Yeah. And Tab, before I lose this last thought, I'm sorry to just add this in real quick. In high school in America, they don't teach, especially our black kids, they don't teach us about how important credit is. Each conversation, each podcast we have, Antoinette always speak about how important it is to balance and her credit and getting to a certain point where she's debt-free. They don't teach that to our kids because they want our kids to come out of school and get a job. They don't want our kids to learn how to manage credit young, at 16, 17 years old, establish good credit young, so you can walk into that bank with your business plan and get that loan. You can start your own business or be a real estate mogul at 21 years old. They want us to continue the traditional route of go to college, get all this debt, get a job, try to pay off your $100,000 credit debt, and you just kind of stuck at this job now. You spending 10, 20, 30 years before you finally realize maybe I should have went the entrepreneur route. So I just think if they start teaching these kids in school about how important their credit is and have a class based just on credit, have a class on real estate, because real estate is still the fastest way to wealth in America. So real estate and credit should be in the 12th grade class period. It should be.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to add that.
Absolutely. Yes, which is why I'm doing my best to catch up on the things that I didn't know and didn't learn at that age, so that now I can put these thoughts in my kids' heads. Just like being an entrepreneur. That wasn't something, we talked about that on the last podcast. I was more focused on, I've always known what I wanted to be. Going to school was the route. Put me in healthcare, which put me in tech, which was amazing, but I wish I knew these things before, and I wish somebody told me that being an entrepreneur was a possibility for me. Mm-hmm. So definitely what I'm working on, so that I can give my kids the full picture.
Right. You're right.
That was good, guys. Thank you.
Great topic. Great. You always give us great topics.
No problem. So that is all I have this week, guys, for Curls, Love, and Life. So we got Antoinette up next. What you got for us, Antoinette?
All right, guys, it's time for Talking Tech with Antoinette. And today in my segment, I have two topics coming from, I believe it's from TechCrunch. So the first article that I'm going to give you guys a breakdown on is about, the title is Instacart's alcohol delivery is now available in 14 states. And this article is by Jordan Crook. So I don't know if you guys heard about Instacart. Me, personally, I have not. But let me give you a background of what it is and how you can use it. So Instacart is a mobile app service available via ISO and Android platforms, as well as their website, that delivers groceries from local stores such as Whole Food Market, Target, Costco, and Petco within 2 hours of your order. So now that you have an idea of what Instacart is, let's dig into their new alcohol delivery service. It has been announced that Instacart has expanded their alcohol delivery to now be available in 14 states and in Washington, D.C., with nearly 100% different realtors. Their partners who participate in the alcohol delivery with Instacart include Albertsons, Kroger, Publix, as well as wine and liquor stores such as Benny's, Beverage Depot, and Total Wine, and more. Instacart's alcohol delivery includes California, Connecticut, Florida, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Texas, Virginia, Washington, and Washington, D.C. So my question for you guys is, would you have your alcohol and or groceries delivered?
Absolutely.
Okay, so yes, Antoinette, I just want to say real quick, I am a member of Instacart. I was holding that. I want to say that. Yes, I am a member. I am eligible. Like, I can work for them. Like, I can be one of the delivery drivers, or I also receive Instacart at the house. So I'm very familiar with the app. Yes.
Very cool. So I'm glad I brought this topic up, because I wasn't familiar with them at all. So yeah, guys, tell me about your getting groceries delivered, or if you would love to do that, or alcohol now.
This needs to be announced in every mom group there is. Do you know? Do y'all understand the struggle that is? It's the middle of the day. You finally got a set of twins down for a nap. You look disgusting. You feel disgusting. The last thing you're about to do is either shower or wake them up to go to the store. And all you want is a glass of wine, and you have none? Like, to let me know that in 2 hours I could have my bottle of Moscato on hand, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Like, if that's not tech and future forward, I don't know what it is.
That's the most amazing thing you ever heard?
Literally, like, are you kidding? Like, I'm like listening so intently, because I've never heard of Instacart. Yes. Like, you had me at wine. Yes. Like,
you had me at wine.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I'm literally going to shout it from the mountaintops, and I'm going to be an ambassador for them because I support delivering wine to moms who are stuck in the house with their kids.
So I'm going to be on the opposite side of the tab because I am familiar with Instacart. I am a member of Instacart. I think they need to really think this through thoroughly. When the very first time I used Uber was in 2014. I never heard of Uber. I was in L.A., caught my first Uber, and I was like, this is kind of weird. Why would they allow for a stranger in the car? It's going to cause all type of problems, all type of sexual harassment. It's going to be terrible. People going to get robbed, and all that stuff happened. But yet and still, Uber still became a huge company. I just think they Instacart need to make sure they're doing this right because they're going to probably get sued a lot of times. A lot of legal trouble, delivering alcohol to minors, people who are not supposed to have it. Somebody might overdose on alcohol, and they may be held responsible. So I just think that it's a lot of legal behind it, you know. I think it's a great idea that can be done. I just think, like, the negatives can be really, really bad.
Right. As soon as you said it, I was like, what's the difference between delivering pizza to somebody who's on blood pressure meds or delivering a pizza to somebody who's not supposed to have any fried or fatty food?
True, but if you deliver a 12-pack of beer to someone and they drink it and go in their car and get into an accident and kill someone, you could be held liable for that.
Oh God!
I mean, yeah, it does open the gate for some legal stuff because I believe there was an incident with Uber where a kid was on the roof of the car, and the Uber driver let the kid do it, and he stopped abruptly, and the kid flew off of the top of the car and died. Wow. And the Uber driver was arrested, and I think he's being charged for murder. Because he let the kid get on the roof. So
that's insane.
Yeah,
right.
It is insane. But it's definitely possible. So I do see that, Delane.
Can I make an announcement for people not to mess this up for the moms? Like, people who not abuse Instacart. This is what we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this news. You know what I mean? Like, yes, please deliver wine to my house.
In a perfect world, this would be a great idea. And I don't know if you ladies know, but I don't drink. I haven't had any alcohol in over 10 years. So I'm really proud of that. So, over 10, I don't drink no beer, no wine, no nothing. So I'm really proud of that. But I think it's a great idea, and I just wish we lived in a better world where something like this can be like Tab said. You know, you got a mom group. When I did used to drink, when you run out of alcohol, nobody wants to be the one that goes to the store. Like, nobody wants to be the one to go to the store. So I think it's great.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I announced this before, but the tech company I work for, we have beer on tap and wine at work. So could you imagine then being able to come home, and if I'm out of wine, like, I can have it in 2 hours. Like, I could call when I left work, and it would be at the door by the time I got home.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, the possibilities. Okay, like life is getting better and better. Okay.
Yeah, so I thought this was pretty interesting. I thought, Tabitha, just like you said, with the delivery of groceries, and personally, I wouldn't use Instacart because, honestly, with me and Corey, we get up in the morning, we go to the grocery store. That's what our thing is, what we do. But if I had children and I had a family, I think that having alcohol and or groceries delivered would be fantastic because, you know, parents, you guys are super busy all the time. You don't normally have the time to, you know, stop and make those errands. So if something can cut back and you get more time with your family and or running them around and activities that you guys have, to have someone deliver your alcohol and deliver your groceries is perfect. So I think it's a great step towards helping to manage your lifestyle a little bit more, having more family time. So I think that's really helpful.
Right. Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love it too.
So the next topic, guys, might be a reason why you're having issues with Instagram. I'm not 100% sure, but it may be. So this next article, the title is Instagram Prototypes Video Co-Watching. And this is by Josh Constant. So in this article, Josh goes on to say that the next phase of social media is about hanging out together while you are apart. I know, it's really weird, but let me continue.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. So he goes on to report that rather than performing on a live stream or engaging with a video chat, Instagram may allow you to chill and watch videos together with a friend, which is, according to this article, very similar to Facebook's watch party for code viewing. So this new Instagram feature was actually discovered by TechCrunch reverse engineer specialist Jane Wong. And I think she kind of hacked this, and she went into Instagram's back page and was able to get through their coding and figure this out. And according to her, the code mentioned that you can co-watch content that comes from your playlist to the similar cues of a Facebook watch party that admins can tee up. Users can also check out suggested videos from Instagram, which would give you a new way to promote content creators and spawn a great moment around a video. It's not certain whether users will be able to appear picture-in-picture while watching with a friend, but it'll be great if you can see your friend's reaction. Instagram has declined to comment on this, but would you guys invite your friends to virtually do a co-watching party with you guys on a video, or is this something that you'll be into? Or is this too far
to go for
us?
Well, first, I want to tell Jane, was it Jane Wong, was it?
Yes.
Could you fix the lives? Like, while y'all trying to do all this extra, like, just fix it first before you try to give me any type of enhancements. I just want to be able to see my news feed. Okay, that's first of all, Jane. I think I would. I mean, I've used the Facebook Watch, so I think that might be a cool feature to bring over to Instagram. But it sounded like, so we can see the other person's expression is what you said?
Yeah, I think, well, they don't know for sure, but they're guessing from the code that she read. It seems like they're trying to have a picture within picture so you can see your friend's reaction to the video that you guys are watching together.
Oh, so it's okay. So it's almost like joining another person's live, but then you're both able to see. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I definitely would like that. Yeah, that's like video chatting and watching a watch party. I like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is a great topic. When my wife moved to Las Vegas, I was still in Atlanta. I was still working. I didn't quit my job right away. She moved, and she came to Las Vegas for a couple of months before I actually came to Las Vegas. And during that time, we were trying our best to watch movies at the same time, still spend quality time with each other. And Netflix, if Instagram beat Netflix to this, Netflix really dropped the ball on this, because Netflix have it so where you can watch a movie with someone, especially couples, like, you might have military couples or just couples who doing a long-distance relationship thing. Netflix really should have beat them to this, because the problem we was having is being able to press play at the same time and watching it at the exact same time. It was always like a time delay where I might hit play first or she might hit play second, and it's never the same time. And we thought that Netflix should have been able to make it so if we're using the same account, we watching the same movie at the same time, and we're interacting with each other, but just over the phone. So I thought it was been a good feature for Netflix. I didn't know about the Facebook party thing. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I think it's a great idea. So if your spouse is out of town for a trip and y'all want to watch your favorite show together, that y'all can watch at the same time, a movie or something like that. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool if Instagram do it, but I hope Netflix beat them to the punch, because Netflix is like, this is what they specialize in. They should definitely beat them. And Hulu and all the others.
Netflix and chill.
I agree.
Right. But if
I agree
Instagram beat them to the punch, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then even Hulu, like, I'm surprised Hulu haven't done this yet. Like, are y'all serious? Y'all about to let Instagram beat y'all to this? Like, come on.
Yeah, you would
Especially
think that they
how
would be
important it
more
is.
up on it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, agreed. Well, you guys,
like,
do
it makes
know
me
that
think
Facebook
about
is owned by Instagram, right? Or is Facebook owns Instagram? You guys are aware of that, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Facebook on Instagram and WhatsApp too.
Right. So it's basically the same thing. So basically what I'm seeing, this pattern, is since they bought out Instagram, is that they're just transferring anything that they do within a Facebook platform to an Instagram format, and vice versa.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even notice it, but you're right. So it's basically the same thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's the same platform, and just a little bit, they try to make it seem like it's different, but it's pretty much the same thing that they're doing back and forth.
And see, YouTube got it so where you can get like 30 channels live. Like, you can watch live TV on YouTube, and it's like $19 a month. So I don't know if y'all ladies know this, but I used to work for Sprint. And Sprint basically the cable company is about to be obsolete. Like the millennials don't even watch cable no more. Like they see the Netflix or the internet. So the cable companies know it. So now the cable companies are now investing in cellular, a lot of the big cable companies now are getting into the wireless industry, so they can keep because they're going to be going. They're going to be like newspapers. Who reads newspapers anymore, right? So yes, and 5G is available now. We were talking about this last. It's available now in a couple of cities. So. Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, they better get up on it because, these like YouTube, Internet, for YouTube to go get these deals with like ABC, NBC, and even Twitter got a contract with the NFL where Twitter is showing NFL games now. So the social media, they like, okay. These social media apps like, okay, we about to get into this TV business because they know that young people are not watching TV no more. Everything is on wireless. Everything is on the phone.
Yep, and Apple just actually announced that their streaming service is coming out, I believe, March 25th. So Apple Music will have a streaming content serve where they have like content on their, I guess within their system or their whatever you would call that. But yeah, they're going to start.
The more we stream, the further and further away I get from getting a Brandy CD. I'm getting further and further from it. I'm going to drop another album. I'm not going to have the CD in my hand.
Wow. And I'm going to tell you something, Tabitha. It's really amazing, this podcast today, or this 10th podcast, how your topic and Antoinette's topic really kind of joins each other because the same industry we were just talking about, our young children and getting into it. This is what they need to be learning. This is the transformation that our world is taking. And if our kids are not prepared for it, which they are, they prepare for it externally, but they need to be prepared for it internally. Like they know, but they need to know how to create it. They need to know how to be innovative when it comes to it, though.
Right. Agreed. Absolutely. And guys, that's it for Talking Tech with Antoinette.
I love it.
Great job.
I swear, I love these tech topics.
Yes.
I'm glad.
I'm gonna sign up for Instacart. So look out for that, y'all. When I'm promoting it, and I have an affiliate link next week. Look out for that.
You better.
Yes.
I'm getting my wine for free.
Listen, I believe her, too. I believe her. She endorses brands, and she know how to get her free stuff. I believe her. Well, Antoinette, I'll be ready for your topics. I'll be ready for them because, I don't know if you know it's not, but Tabitha know it. I'm Futuristic Blogger. That's the name I went by. So I'm big on tech. I'm big on the apps and the website, social media. That's my thing. So I'm just like Tabitha said. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I always try to find something that's a little bit different and interesting that also encompasses kind of what we do in our personal lives with our individual, things that we do on social media and things like that, and how it works in your everyday life. So yeah. I'm excited to be able to bring that to you guys.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have a new phone and unlimited supply of wine.
and don't forget about your 5G. It's coming.
Right.
I got an email yesterday that said it's available like in New York and Connecticut. I was like, what?
That's probably why my little 4G is messing up lately.
Probably.
I said the same thing. I said my 4G is kind of acting up a little bit. What's up?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they doing that. They might be doing that deliberately to get everybody to switch over. I'm like,
they could.
Oh, no. Well, first of all, that's what Sprint does. Anytime a new phone comes out, my phone starts messing up because Sprint wants me to upgrade, and I'm not having it. I'm not ready yet. So yeah, this is right on time because it's time for me to get a new phone.
That's actually why I purposely do not upgrade the software on my iPhone. I never do it. It always tells me to upgrade. I never do it because I know when I upgrade my phone, it's going to mess up. So I just leave it how it is. Like, I'm fine.
Hey, I wish you would have I wish you would have told me that I just updated my phone today, just a few minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I never, ever update my phone. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad, I've been literally having to turn my phone off and on, like today I turned it off and on 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Tabitha? I promise you I'm not disagreeing with you. I done the same thing. I guess how weird is it for the 4G to be acting up You get an update at Instagram and Facebook all at the same time. It's crazy. Like, I think it's something more to it than this, because this is just as weird as getting a text from Donald Trump. I'm sorry. Like, this is crazy. I know y'all got that Donald Trump text. Don't act like I'm the only one that got a text from Donald Trump.
I did not. Thank God. Probably because I didn't upgrade my
You didn't get a text from the president?
No.
I did not. Nope.
Tabitha?
I got so many do not answers saved to my phone. I don't know better than that.
It should come up scan, possibly.
Right. Yeah, I got so many people saved to my phone as do not answer. My phone was like, no, this is another person you don't want to talk to.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. But yeah, I turned my phone off 6 times. I had to update. I had to delete. I had deleted. I had uninstalled Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger all day. I'm like, what is going on? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not just you.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll find out what's going on. All right, what's going on, y'all? This your boy Del Wayne with the Let's Be Clear podcast entertainment report. First off, guess which B2K member decided to quit the Millennium Tour already? Time's up. It's 33-year-old Raz B. Raz B spoke out at the quitting B2K Millennium Tour. However, he revoked his own resignation, saying he is a work in progress. Raz B released a statement saying, I appreciate the outpouring of love, empathy, and understanding from my supporters. I look forward to continuing the Millennium Tour for our fans. You all deserve it. Raz B wrote this on his Instagram story earlier today when Instagram was working. The B2K singer heartfelt message to the fans came after he wrote a previous Instagram story stated that he was officially off the tour because he didn't feel safe. Raz B wrote, I don't feel safe because I feel like Chris Stokes is around. So guess what? I am off the tour. Good luck to everybody. Okay. Secondly, on our entertainment report, Alicia Keys is set to release her memoirs. Alicia Keys has a new book coming out in November to be published by Oprah Winfrey's imprint. The announcement was made today that Alicia Keys' book is called More Myself, and it will be released on November 5th. Alicia Keys is calling the book a 360-degree perspective on her life from her childhood in Hell's Kitchen neighborhood of Manhattan to her spectacular Grammy-winning Arise. The financial terms were not disclosed. Alicia Keys said in a statement that she was ecstatic to share her life story alongside her sister, I put an emphasis on that, her sister, mentor, and friend, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah said in a statement that she was a longtime Alicia Keys fan and she felt honored to publish her book. And lastly, on our entertainment report, Lori Loughlin has turned herself in. The Full House star has been arrested for a conspiracy to commit mail fraud at the alleged involvement in a college admission scam. Lori Loughlin surrendered to federal officials and was taken into custody into Los Angeles. Loughlin and her husband were charged with the crime after allegedly agreeing to pay $500,000 in bribes for her 2 daughters to accept and recruited crew coxswain, even though they didn't even row or participate in the crew. If convicted, Lori faces potential prison time because this particular fraud is a felony. Ladies, please give me your thoughts on any of these topics above.
I want to give you my opinion on all the topics.
Okay. All right. Let's have it. Let me have it.
Okay, so starting with Raz B. Me personally, I totally feel super bad for Raz B. I think I'm not surprised that he, left the tour, is back on tour, is, back and forth, because I do know that it was alleged that he was molested by Chris Stokes when he was younger in the B2K group. So he probably is still dealing with a lot of that trauma, and the fact that no one in the public listened to him when he was telling everyone about what happened about 5 or 6, however many years ago he came out and said this. But now into this whole Me Too movement that we're having, people want to be more sympathetic about, listening to these kind of molestation stories. But his fell on deaf ears. So I totally understand his frustration with his story in that situation. Tabitha, did you want to say anything about this one?
I agree. And I feel bad because I was about to make a joke of it when you were saying it. Like, was he running?
And I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah. Like jokingly, but then it's like, oh, damn, yeah, that is actually why he wanted to quit the concert. Yeah, same thing. I heard the same story, that with Marcus Houston, all of that. So, I mean, I hate it. And then I was like, wait, they only did Pittsburgh. Like, why is he quitting already? So, yeah, that's wow. So I wonder, that has to come from somewhere. Is that just the trauma in him and, like, triggers of being on stage is kind of putting him back in that? Or is something going on? Has Chris Stokes really been around?
Well, Chris Stokes is being investigated right now. It may be going, like, people may be teasing him or going on the deaf ear, but the investigators are not. They're investigating Chris Stokes. He's under investigation.
Oh, good.
And it could be possibly he's threatening them. Like, he could be, like, you know, and if you testify, if you say anything to police, he said he's afraid. This guy is scared. So if he sees Chris Stokes behind stage or in the audience, he's like, man, this guy might try to stab me, kill me, poison me. I don't know what he's going to do, because Raz B talking to officials. He's talking to investigators. So,
and it's different right now because you're on tour, so he knows where you are, you know what I mean, versus you just chilling and kind of laying low cut. Wow.
Right. So Chris Stokes he's trying to quiet these boys. And I'm telling you, allegedly, Chris Stokes is a monster just like R. Kelly. Allegedly. I'm not saying he is. Yeah. I don't know. But so far as reports is concerned, Chris Stokes is a monster.
And I heard things about him even before B2K was out, about the whole IMX group and Immature. So this is like back way in the 90s when I've heard whispers about alleged things that Chris Stokes has done or behavior that he has had. So sometimes when the streets are talking, like, you better listen, because a lot of times this is real.
And Antoinette, you said something so important, that this young man was he said he was molested, and people are joking and laughing and making fun of him. And that's not right. It shouldn't be a double standard when it comes to boys and girls. It really shouldn't. And just to take it one step further, I read a post today on Facebook earlier, and then they was kind of joking, but they said it's a lot of R. Shelleys out here too. And there's not, you know, they said instead of R. Kelly, R. Shelleys. There's a lot of women out here that's messing with young guys, and they are not being exposed. They are not, and these guys are underage, and they're doing it, and they're not getting the same treatment like the men are. So I just think it's a double standard for guys.
That's a whole nother podcast. That's so true. I think it's D-Ray Davis was the one who, like, said it during an interview, I think, on The Breakfast Club. And then Charlamagne kind of brought it to his, I think it was on The Breakfast Club where Charlamagne brought it to his attention, like, you were molested. And he was like, oh, yeah, like, now that I think about it, yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. A whole, with these grown women messing with these young boys.
Yes, we definitely have to bring that back. We definitely have to touch on that. But, you know, back to Raz B, though. But, yeah, it's unfortunate that he has to go through this.
It really is.
Oh, yeah, I hope he doesn't quit. But if he's that afraid, yeah, they definitely need to investigate that a little further.
Well, he said he's back on. He said he's back on. He said he's going to do it for the fans. And they added more cities now. They just added Las Vegas, so they added more cities. It's really, the tours are selling out.
Good. This is crazy. For sure. Yeah.
Are y'all going to get y'all D2K tickets when it comes to D.C. and Atlanta?
Negative.
No.
I'm sorry. It ain't Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry. My bad. It ain't Kendrick.
No.
Y'all gonna spend y'all $1,000 on D2K?
No, negative. Are they opening for Beyonce and Jay-Z? Not happening.
Right.
Let's be clear. I said I would spend a stack on Beyonce and Jay-Z. I didn't say I would spend anything on B2K. Let's be clear. There is a difference.
Because y'all know I posted on Instagram. It got almost 6,000 views. People was going crazy over that topic. But that was a really good topic. That's funny. But yeah, so the Alicia Keys, what y'all think about Alicia Keys dropping a new book from Oprah Winfrey's new thing? Oprah Winfrey got a new publishing company, publishing book. We all love books on this podcast.
Right.
Yeah, I love Alicia Keys. Loved her music. I loved her music. I haven't listened to her in years. Like, honestly, there's no shade to her, but I'm not personally interested in her story. I would love to know about her experience in the music industry. Like, I would love to read those chapters, but that's about it. No, I'm not interested.
Okay.
I
What
knew
about
from
you,
the minute. Yeah, I knew from the minute I heard Antoinette say "loved" that we was gonna be in complete agreement. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, ever since she got with Swiss Beats, I'm turned off.
That's
totally
everybody
turned
says that.
And I have to be honest. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that was the cutoff. I can't sit here and be like, I don't know. I just eventually fell off with her. No, when she got with Swiss Beats, that's where the line got drawn, and I realized.
What's your problem? Why do you have a problem with her with Swiss Beats? What was your problem with her to get with Swiss Beats?
First of all, Jesus has a problem with her with Swiss Beats because her voice is gone. So it's not just me.
Right.
They have a beautiful family. They have a successful marriage. It's working. What's wrong with that family? Why she can't be with Swiss Beats?
Because sometimes, no, the side chicks win sometimes. This is known.
The side chicks win sometimes? Why two light-skinned people can't be happy together? Why?
Too much light skin in one room. That's the problem. Too much light skin in one room. No, it's just, I'm just being honest. Like, I know there's a pre-Swiss Beats Alicia Keys and there's a post-Swiss Beats Alicia Keys, and I'm I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
And it's just,
so Tab,
and it's not to say
I'm sorry, Tab. I'm sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's not to say that we can confirm, the exact details of that relationship, but, I mean, the proof is in the fact her voice is gone. I mean, she's paying for something. She's paying for something she did wrong.
Okay.
Is all I'm saying.
Okay, so let's be clear. Swiss Beats and his baby mama was over with. That relationship was over with. And people are still hating on Alicia Keys for that. It's not her problem because this man was having a problem with his baby mama. Listen, we all been in relationships a little bit too, I'm going to say we all, but some of us have been in relationships that's been a little bit too long and we should have been got out that relationship. And I've been there before when I was in a relationship and I should have been left, but I did not leave like I should have. And it seemed who are we to judge what happened with them? Like Alicia Keys and Swiss are happy. Michonne, whatever her name is, Michonne, she done moved on. Like, they done moved on. Their relationship was toxic from what I was reading. At that time, I had my blogs and my website, and I was really in depth about what was going on with their relationship with Swiss. But it's unfortunate that Alicia Keys is considered the side chick that won. That's crazy. Like, they got married, they have a family, they successful, they doing it. It just didn't work in that other relationship. Is that possible?
All I'm saying is, how many men are telling the new girl, man, we ain't even together no more. Did she know they weren't together when he was trying to holler at Alicia Keys? I don't know if Michelle, I don't know her name either. The ex-wife. Did she know is the question. How many men are telling women that relationship been over? I ain't had sex with her in months. We been ain't love each other, but you still pulling up in the garage is my point. So, no.
Right.
Nope. Gotta close one door for you for another.
Now, this is a whole other podcast topic right here.
We ain't the only ones that know it's wrong. We ain't the only ones that know it's wrong. Jesus knows it's wrong, too.
Right.
It's wrong to start a new relationship when you have not closed the door on the other one. We all agree with that. But we also have to agree, Swiss and Alicia, they doing their thing. They were meant for each other. Look at them. They happily married. That relationship wasn't meant to work with his ex. It just wasn't meant. If it was meant to work, it would have worked.
And it's so unfortunate that she had to flip the heartache. And it's good for her, but that's what it is. She had to flip that heartache around. It's like either get with this situation that he left you or get left behind. She has totally flipped it. She got a book with Alicia Keys, you know what I mean? Now they're like the poster child in the black community for this blended family. That was her only choice, to submerge herself in the fact that her husband, her spouse, was leaving her and moving on with this public figure. She either had to submerge herself in that reality or sit back somewhere and collect a check and cry her tears.
Agreed.
She had to flip that.
100%.
So I don't think that she might be okay now, but trust and believe doing that at the beginning and accepting the that was not an easy pill to swallow.
That was not the case. That wasn't the case years ago. I agree.
Right. Yeah. So we can say, look how amazing this is. No, she had to flip that. Either get with it or get left.
Right. And she was the first. So Swiss Beats' ex-wife, Mashonda, I think her name is. She was on the first season in hip hop. In New York. And I remember her talking about the situation and how it happened. Granted, it was just her side, but there was a bunch of stuff that was going on around that time that didn't add up and didn't seem right. So, Alicia Keys hasn't been the same since.
Nope.
So we all know that love can be complicated. Black love can be even more complicated, and celebrity black love is even more complicated. So let's not pretend that this is a regular relationship. They're celebrities. So Swiss Keys is a millionaire. She's a millionaire, and it seems like it's a little different when you're in the spotlight when you have a relationship. For them two to still be together after all these years, it seemed like that their love, they have a strong love, and it was meant to be. And I just feel like, it just wasn't meant to be with his ex. I mean, no hard feelings. It just wasn't meant to be, because if it was, they would still be together. That's how I feel. And I just think it's bad for Alicia Keys that a lot of the black women in the black community, because I don't think white women and Spanish women even think about it. I think it's black women coming down hard on Alicia Keys. And I just think at some point y'all gonna have to just let it go and forgive her. She has a beautiful family now. They're happy.
Are they? Yeah. Are they happy though? Millions of dollars. You know what I mean? I would look happy too if I had millions of dollars. I'm just saying, it's either they are really happy or there's no way in hell Alicia Keys is going to take that woman's man and then let this go down. You know what I mean?
God.
So it's like, I'm going to do whatever I got to do, because the last thing I already got enough. Jesus already took my voice. You know what I mean? Jesus already took my voice. I'm not going to let Jesus take my man too. So I just feel like, I don't know.
Well, let's be clear. Her book comes out November 5th. It's called More Myself. Y'all go cop it, and maybe y'all can get her side of the story.
No. Meet us at the Kendrick Lamar concert. We will not be doing that.
So what do y'all think about Oprah, though? Publishing books, and, what y'all think about? I know Oprah been had her book club, and she's been doing it. So what do y'all think about the book releasing on Oprah company? Good, bad, no thought?
I don't know. I think Oprah, I don't know how I feel about that. This is a lane, of course, I saw Oprah going into, because she, like you said, she's had Oprah Book Club forever and a day. So, creating her own publishing company just made sense. And I think she's more focused on giving another black woman the platform and the space and the place to do it. So I think she probably focused more on that than the storyline.
Yeah. And
what the book is about.
Right. I think she's a little late on this, though. She should have did this about years ago. When she had her show. No, Oprah with the publishing. She should have branched into that arena years ago. I think she's a little late in this, and she's not going to get back her investment that she's putting in on it, honestly.
You think so? I think this is going to be the podcast we disagree on everything, because, Oprah was busy with the old magazine. She owns 51% of Weight Watchers now. She got the own network. I just think it's perfect timing, because now she has many outlets where she can actually distribute the publication. So I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect, because look at how many platforms she got now that she can really push the publishing company. I don't know. It just seemed like if you started the publishing company first and then started own network, it would have been more difficult. Now you can push the publishing company on own network. I don't know.
I think when you're the richest black woman in the world, it don't matter when you do anything.
It don't matter?
Yeah. I agree with both you guys. I feel like, I agree, but I feel like it made sense for her to do this years ago, but I feel like when you got all that money, you kind of start things whenever. You're not really in a rush.
Whenever, right. I agree.
Because you got millions already.
And I would love for us on this podcast to start recommending books to our listeners, and books that we're currently reading. So I know that Antoinette, she's part of a book club. I believe Tabitha, you're part of a book club, and I just love books. I've been reading self-improvement books since I was a kid. So that's why I brought this up. But I'm here for it, definitely. But we do need to start a topic on this, because I don't think black men we're not holding Alicia Keys. We're not holding that on Alicia Keys. But y'all women, y'all hold that against her. And I don't think that's right.
Well, holding Alicia Keys accountable would let me not. I'm not going to say all men. Alicia Keys accountable would open the door for y'all. So of course y'all giving her a pass. Like, come on, because if we get on you, they're going to start getting on us. So, no.
The relationship was not working. It wasn't working. It was over with. It might not have been officially.
Did Mashonda know it was over? I don't think
she knew they had problems. She knew they had problems.
No, from watching Love and Hip Hop, I don't think Mashonda knew it was over. So that's my problem.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, no.
So, Alicia, you should have put your foot down and told that man, until you are free and clear, this stops. Right. And that's why Jesus took your voice. So,
Wow. I know what the highlight of this podcast is going to be, and this is what it is going to be. I already know it. This topic going to get all the views and all the comments. All right. Lastly, Lori. Lori is in jail right now. Lachlan, she hasn't even bonded out. Like, she's still in jail. What's your thoughts on this whole cheating scam? Colleges, kids.
This goes back to what me and Antoinette said earlier. Yeah, like, black people, this is an example of why we have to push education on our kids. Because you see what the white people do to make sure their kids get into good schools? Like, this is a must. Like, they are willing to go to jail to have their kids go to a good school. That's I just found out about this earlier today, again, from the Breakfast Club. I had no clue. I didn't even realize people did this. Like, you're willing to commit crimes to put your kid into college?
And see, my thought on it is that I don't feel that this is the first time this has happened. I feel like this has happened before. This has happened all along. Maybe not with this particular organization or these group of people who were in on this, but I feel that this happens all the time within these high society groups of people paying for things and paying their way in to get certain access. I mean, because even with these Ivy League schools, you do have that, what do they call it, where your child is guaranteed to go to that school as long as you've gone there.
Legacy. When you're a legacy kid.
Yeah, you're a legacy kid. It's the same thing. So they already have this rite of passage to get into these elite schools and these elite opportunities. And then you have these parents who will drop millions of dollars for these kids to get into school, which I find interesting that you couldn't just pay for a tutor. What's wrong with the tutor? Like, you pay so much money for them to get into school. I mean, it makes no sense to me. So I don't know. I hope they all go to jail, which I know all of them will not. And I hope that something. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to. I'm going to follow this story because I want to know specifically what's going to happen to this high society, this group of people. What exactly it's going to happen to them, because they not only committed fraud within the school system, but they also committed tax fraud. So I'm hoping that they actually go to jail for this. And I've been following this story all morning. So I will be keeping my ears pierced on this. So I'm glad you brought this up.
So these are the white people who didn't come from money, so they're not able to be legacy kids. These are the white people who grew up and created the money, and they're having to start from here, is what I'm getting from this.
Right.
I guess so. Right. I don't know exactly all their stories. The two of the women who were involved were actresses. One from the Desperate Housewives, which I loved, and the other was from Full House, the mother of Full House. And
I don't believe either one of them, like, I don't think anybody before them, like their parents or anything, came from money. You know what I mean? Or were in these affluent situations. So it's like, I have to start from here, and this is the only way that I can do it. This is crazy.
Right. And let's be clear, and like Antoinette said, these are just the ones that got caught. But they've been doing this for years, for hundreds of years. If there's any white people in America who do not believe that white privilege is real, it's real. And this is a perfect example of white privilege and people who have the means to do certain things. Like Paul Manafort just got life sentence because he did a white-collar crime. That black people do the same crime, they get the book thrown at them. If you look at Jesse Smollett, who also did a scam, deceive the public, deceive people, he's being crucified a lot more than Lori Loughlin. And I know it's two different crimes, but to me, it's both fraud. she's probably going to get a slap on the wrist where he may actually go to jail. So, you know, if Empire starts tonight, he will not be on the show. His career will take a hit, but I'm sure these white actresses and actors who are part of this college scheme, their career is not going to take a hit at all. They'll be working. She probably get probation, and that's going to be it.
Right. And this is for a little girl. The clip that I saw earlier, apparently she was on YouTube or something, basically saying she just wanted to go to college to party. She's not into it for actual school.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah,
when your parents are paying for your, paying for your education, or actually scamming their way for you to get an education. I mean, why would you have a positive attitude towards an education?
Right.
Why?
and it's so dumb to me, because if you're gonna pay $500,000 to scam your way in college, you might as well just pay for the college. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. You could just pay for your kid to go to school for $500,000.
It's a slap in the face, because not only could you pay for your 2 kids, you can start a foundation and pay for so many other undeserving kids, or underprivileged kids to go to college. Well, so that's a slap in the face.
And did you guys see that they actually took? They said that the parents took Getty Images and photoshopped their kids' faces onto lacrosse images,
I saw that.
The players and things like that.
Wow!
They were doing the most, really the most with it, and it was very. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you guys serious right now? I really don't get it.
Well, this is one story we're definitely going to keep an eye on, and we'll keep you guys updated on any outcomes with this story. We'll see what happens. But that's it that's all I got for my entertainment podcast report, ladies. That's all I have.
That was good.
Awesome.
I mean,
that was so much fun.
Down with Alicia Keys, but
thank you.
Right.
I already know what the highlight of this podcast is going to be, for sure. So,
oh goodness.
Definitely. So, Tab, you got your new event coming up. Tell everybody once again about your new event and where they can find you at.
I do, guys. Again, make sure you are checking me out whenever it starts working again on Instagram, Cocoa Brown Curls XO. I've put a post up this week where you guys can look on the post and see the rules. Make sure you're following me, you're liking it, commenting. Make sure you're also following and liking and commenting under Lipstick and Lashes ATL. Again, the event will be March 23rd. It is a mini movie night. I'm super excited. Also going to be featuring Keisha's Sweet Treats and Events, I believe is the name. Again, it'll have it on there. I'm going to have her popcorn. One of my good girlfriends, she actually has her own event and treat kind of services. So we're going to be having some flavored popcorn. Got some, I don't know if I'm going to share the white Hennessy or not, but she has some alcohol-infused popcorn, so that's going to be really good.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you can find me there. Find me on Facebook, Cocoa Brown Curls XO, and my website, CocoaBrownCurlsXO.com.
Sounds good. Antoinette, what you got going on? Where can they find you at?
Oh, yes, guys. So you can find me on Instagram at Antoinette Pope, like the color, and also on my other podcast, Black and Behind the Scenes. We just dropped the interview with Alicia, Mary, and you guys will check that out, part 1, part 2. And we will be back next week because, as you can see, my voice is back and we're back.
All right. Love it. All right. Once again, y'all know this your boy, Del Wayne. You already know my Instagram. Like Tab said, once it's up and running again, Las Vegas updates. Last week we had the huge, we had the House of Blues. We had the Music 40 Mondays at the House of Blues. It was a huge success last week. We'll be back this week. Out and chill out with us and enjoy some young people, some young talented artists performing every Monday night at the House of Blues. And once again, guys, Let's Be Clear Podcast.com is the website that you can get all the podcast episodes. That website, that URL is going to take you straight to our brand new YouTube channel. It's Let's Be Clear Podcast.com. Go to it right now. Thank you, guys.